Man, I'm going through this really weird thing lately where I keep reaching for my headset to start filming a video. Like, when I first started ages ago, I stopped doing this, like, I have the North, actually. Actually, I did it for most of the Let's Play. I used to wear a headset for the commentary, and recently I just keep going for that headset. I don't know what it is, but it's been about 4 episodes in a row. Anyway, hi guys, welcome back to the Winds of Change. We're going to speak to Cowlin to start off a quest that probably a lot of you have seen coming. Hey Cowlin, how's it going, man? He says, first the Jade Brotherhood, and now the Amphar. Ooh. It seems a group of them has headed into Luxon lands, Guyala Hatchery to be precise. The Ministry of Purity is in pursuit of them. Given what you discovered last time, I don't doubt that this is of importance as well. And it's something that I ask you to put a stop to. I can't quite put my finger on it, but I've got a bad feeling that there's something more to all of this. I'll end this before anything can come of it, or that's pretty far away, I'm going to say here for now. No, we're going to go. Yeah. When I played through this in part 2, I was a little bit disappointed that this was so obvious and that this is what was coming. It's I don't know what it is. I didn't really like it about Mass Effect either. Mass Effect 2 in particular. I love the games, by the way, but one thing that I didn't really like is how just sort of regulated and structured everything is. And real life's not like that. And I always kind of lose a bit of my involvement in the story, shall we say, when they do stuff as obvious as that. It's like, oh, first that we've done a quest in the Echo-Valley Forest. We have to do one to balance it out in the Jade Sea now. They always do stuff like that, and I don't know. Like I said, I really like part 2 and part 3 of Winds of Change. It's definitely far improved from the cleansing. Like, the cleansing had the same thing. It was like ArenaNet could have had us just cleanse a few areas and then be like, oh well, no, that's it. But they had us cleanse pretty much everywhere. Actually, having said that, if I think about it, they did let the Ministry of Purity cleanse some places, so maybe it wasn't so regulated there. But I don't know, it's just too structured, and you can kind of see it coming. And I don't know, it makes it a little bit less believable, I suppose. But anyway, yeah, instead of the Jade Brotherhood going to try and recruit the help of the Kurziks, the Amphar are now coming to try and recruit the help of the Jade Brotherhood. Which is weird when you think about it, because kind of if you look back to factions when you play through it the first time, you never would have expected them to have ever considered doing that, you know. It's just quite a weird thing, a weird plot to have eventually come forward. But hey, it did. It's not totally unbelievable, not by a long shot, but yeah, well, it's essentially going to be the exact same situation as earlier. It was such a quite lucky I'm doing a video today, if I'm perfectly honest, because as I said a couple of episodes ago, I've started playing this game Legend of Grimrock, and I was playing it for hours today, hours and hours and hours. I was just sat there listening to the Rooster Teeth podcast for just fucking ages and ages and ages. But I got to a point where there was this really hard bit, right? Saved it and went in and kept retrying it, eventually beat the things in that hard bit. But stupidly, I didn't save it after that. Even more stupidly, for the next 3 hours, I didn't save the game. So it came to a point way later when I died, and I looked at my loaded games, and not only was it 3 hours ago, but it was 3 hours ago before a really difficult encounter. And I know it's stupid, but I'm pretty sure everyone who's ever played a game would have had a moment like that. So I got pissed off, came out of the game, and suddenly realised it was like 4 o'clock, and I was like, oh shit, I need to film stuff. So yeah, who knows how long I could have been in there. Anyway, right, so we come here. They were already in the thicker conversation. The Amphar speaking. Ajun Z Deft Blade. They've got such exotic names now. It says, we've got so much in common. You're pirates, we're thieves. You've got giant crabs, and we've got... No, more importantly, we've got a shared enemy. The Ministry of Purity I really didn't do justice to that joke there. That was supposed to be funny, guys. The Ministry of Purity sees fit to pass judgment on those they feel fall outside of what a Canthan should be. You know as well as I do how they see you. So what if they do, says the Luxon. There are many in Cantha that shun us and our way of life. We've lived proudly thus far. Why would that change? And the Amphar reply with, because they won't just ignore you the way that the Emperor does. They will either see you assimilated or destroyed. Neither of those sounds very appealing to free spirits like ourselves, now does it? And the Ministry of Purity walk in. I don't know where the guy is. He's over there, I guess. Yeah, there he is. Loads of Ministry of Purity, in fact. I'm getting really caught behind on this. He says, I think you've said quite enough. It's easy for a criminal to blame justice than to fear their own deficiencies. Your words only incriminate yourselves to all that would listen. You even stand in the company of one known to be a traitor. Is that me? And as promised, they have arrived. Ask yourselves this. How long do you truly believe you can avoid them? This moment is only the beginning. The diplomats say, we shall not be used as pawns by either of you. The Luxon Armada has no interest in your war. You know, it'd be really funny if the Luxons and Kurziks then, like, united against these guys. That's kind of like what always happens. Different factions unite against a greater threat. Anyway, they want out just like the Kurziks did. And the Amphar say, we'll see how your elders feel about this war once they realise it's arrived on their doorstep. Your heads, courtesy of the Ministry of Purity, should do the trick. Fucking hell, there's so much dialogue here. And the ministry say, enough! Deal with them. We shall now show them what happens to criminals and those who conspire with them. And then the diplomat says, there's too many of them. We must hold out. And then I got a gold drop because I'm awesome. And the fight is already well underway, really, to prepare for this one. Let's talk about gameplay for a second. You see that bridge there? Apparently, if you sort of go under that bridge, right, you will be slightly more balled up, admittedly. How is the team doing? We're doing all right at the moment. I'm not using a concept or anything. I'm just hoping that because I've now got this minion master, it should be much easier. Because yesterday, once I'd sorted stuff out, everything was much easier. I've had a few guys offering me to use their builds, actually. Thanks very much for that. You know what? I might take you up on that offer. I've actually got someone uploading video responses to all the stuff I do, and he's just playing the same quest that I did, so if you have a look it will probably be there, but where he's not doing commentary and he's got a far better build and he's far more competent in the game, you can see him complete like most quests in like 5 minutes while I spend a whole 20-minute episode talking about it. But yeah, there is that, and I think he offered me to use his build, which I might take you up on, kind sir, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, oh, well, look at this. We're already dying. Fantastic. Yeah, well, I wasn't really prepared for this anyway. What I'm going to do is reload in, and we'll be under this bridge. It was almost a given that I was going to wipe here. We'll be under this bridge, and we'll see what we can do from there. You can also cheat on this one, just like you could on the other. It really doesn't make much of a difference. Mind you, we're holding out all right. Is this the last group? If these are the final enemies, we actually almost won that. The diplomats are going to die. Anyway, yeah, I'll see you guys in a second. You know, I just had a really weird moment. I had it kind of yesterday as well, where, like, walking around here, just playing the game. This is going to sound really weird, and I'm not going to be able to describe what this is like at all. But I was fighting that Death Hand and using Jagged Strike on him over and over again, and the AI sees that. He starts bleeding, and those enemies have got a skill called Plague Touch, which will just take whatever conditions are on them and put it on you. And the AI sees that as whenever they've got a condition, they just keep spamming that skill. So as long as I was using skill 1, this Death Hand was doing nothing. It was just making me bleed, which really wasn't dangerous at all. And I don't know, I had a really weird moment, like, playing there with him using that reminded me of when I used to farm outside the Oreos mines years and years and years ago when factions first started. And, like, with the music and stuff, it just made me realise this game is just like something completely different to me now than it was like years ago. Like, completely different. It's like the experiences I have in the game and just the general feeling of it is like so alien now, and it's really weird to get a taste of what I don't know. Am I making any sense? Do you guys ever get that? Anyway, I'm not even sure if I should have commented that, but here's the tactic, right? I'm not going to cheat, but this is how easy it is. Or should I cheat? I don't know. If you've got a mini master, you can just bring the diplomats like this over here, and they'll be out of the bulk of the fight. Now, there's two tactics. They kind of blur together if you've got a minion master. Really, what you want to do is flag everyone around here. It would be very easy for me to just walk further off over there, and the diplomats would be 100% safe. We could let the Amphar and the Ministry fight up there, and then just go pick them off at the end. I'm going to try and not do that. I think that's a little bit cheap. So I'm going to stand here. If you don't have a minion master, you might have to be slightly closer. But generally, Wiki advises that if you do stand here, that you can kind of draw the majority of the aggro anyway, and you'll be in range to heal those diplomats up from down here. But the advantage you get from here is these cliffs. A lot of the enemies that will be coming at you fire lots of projectiles and things. And of course, the nice thing about standing here is that they'll sort of be blocked on all the different things that can obstruct them. And it's just supposedly a more defensible location. I don't think me and Mike really completed this legitimately, if I remember rightly. Not in hard mode. I think we just managed to do the cheat in the end. But we'll just... Hold on, let me make sure. Yeah. So we'll just... Why have I got a Reef Lurker on my team? Is one of these diplomats got a Reef Lurker as a pet? Oh yeah, didn't that happen before? I think there might be like... I know there's a henchman around here that has a Reef Lurker as a pet. It's called Hector. But, oh, that's kind of weird. Right, okay, so yeah, we're going to start the fight. Should I speed it up? Have I got anything else to say? No, I feel like maybe for some of these episodes I should start giving you guys like some more updates on the lore series as it's coming along. I'm not even sure really how much there is to say. I'm not 100% sure what you're expecting it to be, but it's not me just standing there giving loads of facts as like as I talk about the plot of Early Prophecies. It's kind of me kind of putting it into sort of a story form, but I don't embellish too much and start like giving characters dialogue or anything that doesn't exist in the game. There's no dialogue at all, actually, for that matter. It's not like a story. So everything in it is 100% canon. I've made sure of that because I reckon that the video will do much better if it is all canon, because if it's not canon, then people are going to start turning around and saying... See, I think having a minion master works opposite here, because don't the Amphar take your minions like I was taking the Jade Brotherhoods or the Ministry's minions before? I'm not sure. So, yeah, are we okay? Yeah, we're okay. So yeah, I mean that's kind of the style that it is, and it kind of just describes the world, and it introduces new players to the fact that there are 3 human nations in Tyria. And then it goes on to talk about Ascalon in particular of those 3 nations, and then it describes their history with the Char, the Searing, all the events that happen in prophecies after the Searing. It talks about Rurik and Adalbern's kind of struggles, their relationship together, and how that ends with Rurik being exiled. Come on, we can make it, guys. This is the last fight. Oh, hang in there. Hang in there, people. It talks about that. And then it talks about... What else does it talk about? Oh, and then it follows Rurik as it goes across the Shiver Peaks, and it kind of ends with him dying and the Ascalonian people looking out at Krycha. That's kind of the first part, and then the second 2 parts will be like 2 parts of a single story to do with the Flameseeker prophecies. It's kind of what I'm hoping to go for. But I've been thinking of something. I'd like you guys to tell me what you think of this, right? Because what I've done with the first episode is pretty much all about Ascalon, right? The series is designed to introduce people to the story of Guild Wars 2 and all the lore they want to know for Guild Wars 2. Obviously, that part of Ascalon's story, though, that I've told is really only half of it. Like, you can probably split it 50-50. The other half of the story is all about Pyre Fearshot's revolution, more Char-centric stuff. Talking about Carla Scorchrazor, bringing the female Char, the fall of the Flame Legion, but also the actual victory over Ascalon and the Foe Fire and what's going on with Adalbern and stuff like that. So I've looked at this thing that I've written at the moment, and there's being having art done for it, and I've always kind of looked at that as a part 1 of 3 for the story of prophecies, right? But now I'm kind of looking at it as well as being a part 1 of 3 for a story about prophecies, it could very easily be a part 1 of 2 for a comprehensive series on all the lore of Ascalon and the Char. So I'm kind of thinking of now doing like 2 sequels that spread off of the same initial work, if that makes any sense, which I think would be really kind of cool. It's quite quirky and it's a little bit complicated, I suppose, but I think that's quite cool, and I like it when people do weird stuff like that with the things that they've made. So what do you guys think? Do you reckon I should do that? We could have like... It would all be a part of the summary lore series, no doubt, but you'd have one video functioning... I should probably unflag those guys, they're not doing anything. But you'd have one video functioning as like a prequel to 2 different stories kind of thing. Like, it would be a part 1 of 2 and a part 1 of 3 as well. Does that make any sense? I think that'd be really cool. I mean, but I don't know, maybe it's a bit complicated. Yeah, let me know what you think, guys. I mean, that's probably something to talk about. That's the latest development, I suppose. I've still got a lot of feedback and stuff to work on and to look at the story a bit more, but when I start doing like my 3rd look at it, I want to leave it a few days, maybe even up to a week, just so that I can look at it with really fresh eyes and see stuff that's obviously worded weirdly, and sort of fix those sort of after a little while. But yeah, that's kind of what's going on with the lore series, and that is me kicking this quest's ass. That was awesome. Okay, so the Diplomat says, "We owe you our thanks for what you've done here, but this has been a troubling encounter for us. The Luxons do not wish to be engaged in matters of the Empire, but I wonder how much longer those days can truly last." See, foreshadowing. We know that those days aren't going to last. Is that the end of the dialogue? Those guys probably had dialogue for us, actually, if I clicked them and spoke to them. Oh, well, I'm sure it wasn't anything important. The other guys didn't. You can't speak to the diplomats themselves. But yeah, there you go, guys. That's this quest complete. Let's zone back to Kaining Center. And actually, I've just remembered, people keep asking me for the team builds. I should just get off my ass. Well, alright, listen, in the description of this video are going to be the codes for all of my heroes' builds. I do not claim them to be very good, but they are serviceable right now. And if you really want those, then they will be there in the description. People keep asking, and I keep being lazy and putting it off, so I'm actually going to do it now. Yeah, it will be in the description, guys. There'll be lots of codes. You just copy and paste those into, let's take the Master of Whispers, shall we, for example. You will click your hero, go to template code, and this code here, you'll just copy and paste it into that, and whatever comes out of it, that'll be what you want to put in. So yeah, there you go. I will do that for you, and if I forget, somebody leave, please tell me in the comments, because I might forget, you know me. Anyway, Cowlen says, "First the Jade Brotherhood tries to draw the Kurziks into the conflict, then the Amphar try to draw in the Luxons. What's their angle in all of this? These are unusual movements, even for those 2 groups. This isn't sitting very well with me, friend." So really, the plot has not been pushed forward whatsoever from this quest. But next time we'll be seeing something. There will be more stuff going on. I can't remember exactly what the next quest is at this point, but we'll see it soon enough. I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Do let me know what you think about that kind of weird summary thing. But yeah, see you later.